number of cases of the coronavirus in Los Angeles County hits 195,604. The confirmed number of deaths tops 4,758. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 1,060, with total confirmed deaths remaining at 59. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Colleen Farrell. It's 4 p.m. on Tuesday, August 4th. Data continue to show promising trends as California is beginning to see a reduction in new confirmed coronavirus cases. This is the first week in 3 months the state has seen a 9% drop in new cases after hitting pandemic highs. Epidemiologists and public health experts say social distancing, wearing masks, and not gathering is in fact helping to slow the transmission of the virus. Officials say slowing the spread will help to get people back to work, kids back to school, and ultimately reopen more industries and sectors safely. Los Angeles County is also seeing improvements, with the average number of cases dropping from the 3,000s, now down nearly 1,000 fewer cases this week. Governor Gavin Newsom says it would take a few weeks before knowing for certain if California is on a path to improvement. While Governor Gavin Newsom says he's cautiously optimistic, the public will need to heed caution with upcoming holidays to avoid another wave of coronavirus cases. While the overall trend is showing a decrease in the number of new confirmed cases of COVID-19, Governor Newsom says he's hopeful that the next few weeks will continue to trend this way in order to feel more confident about the future of the pandemic. Newsom warns the virus is not going away, and with Labor Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and the holidays, the public will need to continue exercising caution by wearing masks, social distancing, washing hands frequently, and avoiding large gatherings. Public health officials anticipate still a second wave of the virus in the fall, along with the flu season, which could be another recipe for disaster. Officials hope the public will learn from the 4th of July holiday, where public health experts say large gatherings were a contributing factor to the recent surge in new cases. Officials say contact tracing is showing that with bars closed, much of the disease transmission had occurred at home or at small get-togethers among people who already knew each other. California currently has the most coronavirus cases in the country, roughly 500,000 or 10% of all those reported in the U.S. A powerful new ad is hitting the airwaves today, pleading politicians to help restaurants in danger due to the pandemic. The Independent Restaurant Coalition tapped into one of the most recognizable voices in entertainment to capture the severity that the industry is facing. Morgan Freeman narrates a new television ad asking Congress to support the Restaurants Act Now bill. The $120 billion revitalization fund is designed to provide structured relief to food services or drinking establishments, which could help pay workers, rent, utilities, and ultimately keep them operating through the end of the year. It was introduced to Congress mid-June and is currently in the first stage of the legislative process. The ad says COVID-19 has threatened to permanently close 85% of independent restaurants. 16 million people employed by those restaurants face potential job loss, which disproportionately impacts people of color and single mothers. The ad says 1 in 4 people who lost their jobs during the pandemic were restaurant workers. A popular fast food casual restaurant chain is the latest to file for bankruptcy protection. California Pizza Kitchen hopes by filing for Chapter 11, it will help reduce its long-term debt load and quickly come out of this pandemic as a stronger company. Company officials say the 35-year-old business will close some of its unprofitable locations. Currently, there are more than 200 locations throughout the world. CPK secured nearly $47 million in new financing to ensure operations continue. CPK says temporarily closing their indoor dining has impacted 80% of its dine-in sales. Revenue is currently down 40% compared to this time a year ago. Some good news, though, for one local restaurant chain. HOF'S Restaurants, Inc., which also operates Lucille's Smokehouse Barbecue, along with Saint and Second, is hoping to make a comeback. After furloughing more than 500 employees in Torrance, Long Beach, Orange, and Los Alamitos, employees may soon return to work. When dine-in services closed for all of the restaurants, nearly a quarter of their workforce was impacted in Torrance. More than 160 employees were laid off just between the two Torrance restaurants alone. Restaurant officials say thanks to patio dining and takeout business increasing, they've been able to bring back a number of team members. While this may be good news for this restaurant group, the California Restaurant Association predicts a third of the state's restaurants won't survive the COVID-19 pandemic. As California families inch closer to the start of the new school year, state public health officials released guidance for how elementary schools across the state could potentially return to in-person teaching. Schools and counties on the state's COVID-19 watch list can apply for waivers that would allow for in-person learning if they meet certain health requirements. This waiver is only for transitional kindergarten to sixth grade classes, even if a school has additional grades. Los Angeles County, which is one of the nearly 24 counties under the state's watch list, is restricted from bringing children back on campus unless this waiver is approved. The California Department of Public Health shared new data that shows young children are far less likely to spread or transmit the virus. Schools that apply for the waiver must do at least 2 weeks in advance from the day they would like to reopen. Plans must include cleaning and disinfection protocols, face covering requirements, health screenings, physical distancing guidelines, and small class sizes. Schools and counties whose COVID-19 case rates are more than 200 cases per 100,000 people will not be considered for the waiver. It's unlikely that any school district within Los Angeles County will be able to apply. Local frontline workers are standing in solidarity with nurses across the state. The California Nurses Association union says they're planning a rally tomorrow outside of Providence Little Company of Mary Medical Center in Torrance, among many other locations, to show support of nurses throughout the state. Nurses are protesting some medical centers across California that have applied for waivers, allowing hospitals to staff units outside the state-mandated nurse-to-patient ratio during emergencies. Fortunately, Providence and Torrance and San Pedro have not sought those waivers since the pandemic began. A hospital spokesperson says their nurses have done an amazing job, and we have been able to comply with the state-mandated ratios since the health crisis started. The hospitals have instituted several layers of safety to guard against the spread of the virus. Some of those measures include separating symptomatic patients as well as caretakers from the general hospital population to prevent further spread of the virus. Providence Chief Executive Gary Olney says, quote, "We are fortunate that we have the nursing resources we need, but every hospital across the nation knows that can change quickly. Nurses and other hospital caregivers are exceptional people, selflessly dedicated to care for the sick and their loved ones, especially in crisis situations. I'm humbled by the courage and resilience of our nurses and couldn't be more proud of the way we have responded to the pandemic from the initial planning process and through the escalation in cases," end quote. Honda is recalling more than 1.6 million cars today. Problems were reported in 4 separate recalls involving Odyssey minivans along with Pilot and Passport SUVs. The largest of the 4 recalls include critical dashboard functions like the speedometer, engine oil light, and gear positions not working properly. The second recall includes incorrect software programming that can stop the rear camera displays from working. The third recall was specific to the minivan, where water may get into the outer door handle cables, preventing the sliding doors from latching properly. The fourth recall involves the rear view camera mounting holes. If water gets into them, it could distort the camera image. Owners will be notified when to bring cars into their dealership for repairs beginning September 23rd. Car models involved in the recall range from 2018 to 2021 models. Torrance city officials will be back for their virtual city council meeting tonight. The live meeting starts at 5:30 p.m. and you can take a look at the agenda right now at torranceca.gov. The public is encouraged to participate by emailing ahead or calling in during oral communications. You can do so by emailing council meeting public comment at torranceca.gov and calling 310-618-2404. Make sure to watch live on City Cable as well as online at torranceca.gov. You can also catch it on Facebook and YouTube at 5:30 p.m. tonight. Small business owners, micro entrepreneurs, and nonprofits across Los Angeles County have just a few more days to take advantage of funds available. The third round of the LA Regional COVID Recovery Fund is open to applicants again, but only for a short time as it closes on Friday, August 7th. Currently, there are 3 program components: grants, loans, plus coaching and technical assistance. Micro entrepreneurs are considered those who are independent contractors, 1099 workers, street vendors, or sole proprietors with revenues of $100,000 or less. They are eligible to receive up to a $5,000 grant. Small businesses that have a yearly gross revenue of more than $100,000 but less than $1 million, and nonprofits registered as a 501c3 organization that have an annual gross revenue of less than $1 million and provide supportive social services to low to moderate income individuals of families in LA County are eligible to receive a grant worth up to $15,000. The LA Regional COVID Fund is expected to disperse $3 million in aid through 6 total rounds, with finalists notified after each round. If you identify with any of the 3 categories, you're encouraged to apply at lacovidfund.org. Already into the first week of August, we want to hear how you're spending the last of the summer weeks and how you plan to make it the best one yet. No matter how big or small your summer plans are, we want to see how you're capturing each summer moment. Email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share stories from our community. Feel-good pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. Well, a local Starbucks is showing how they care for its first responders. At the Starbucks located near Torrance and Hawthorne Boulevard, you'll find this sign posted on their store window. It reads, #BeKind. It says, join us in helping spread kindness and purchase a pound of coffee or via instant coffee for our local essential workers. We will deliver all donations to our essential workers throughout Torrance. What a great way for local businesses to partner with the community and show how Torrance cares, especially those working on the front lines. If you have a great story to share or just want to say hello, send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. That's our update for COVID-19 today. We hope you'll join us again tomorrow at 4 p.m. as Christine Lee brings you the latest updates. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.